right, chat. Good evening. How are you doing? So, we're going to get into what, we've gone from. Sorry. We had to get that in. Hi, Bubba. Clyde's being a little bashful, so I want to make sure you guys saw him tonight. We are going from, some epic rap battles. We went from like Biggie and Tupac to Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And, instead of shooting at people now, it's, I'm going to sue you. Before you talk about how many shooters you got in your payroll. And now it's like, I've got so many lawyers on my payroll. Which it's very funny how this is shaken out. We are going to take a look at it. I know a bunch of you did ask about it, so we are going to take a look. What's this all about? And it's not really looking good, like where this is probably going to end up. But before we get any further, my name's Sean, also known as Potentially Criminal. I am an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And this is not a criminal defense topic. This is kind of just, ooh, Clyde, you've got like a goofy nail all worked out here, Bubba. What the heck is that? You got to work on your. It's a weird dew claw. Anyway, chat, we are going to take a look at this, see what's going on here, because it is kind of funny, but it's it's not like a real rap battle. Anyways, Clyde, do you want me to go down? What's that? You haven't noticed his floppy nail before? No, I have, but I thought it was like falling off because it was really loose. It felt real floppy. Yeah, no, I'm like, what the heck? Why does it feel like it's falling off? It's like not. Well, anyway, Bubba, I'm going to put you down, okay? Everybody wanted to see you tonight. Yeah, he wants down. All right, you want to go see 2.0? All right, Bubba. He's not a good boy. Remember, check, Clyde Coin is going to the moon. Oh, all right. So, it is Kendrick Lamar and Drake. If you know Drake, the hottest rapper Canada has ever seen, dropping the hottest verses Toronto's ever heard. And the quote a little, and it's funny because we're talking about Jay-Z in that a little bit. So, where you do R. Kelly versus the age of consent laws. Well, we've already had that battle. And you were clarifying we're playing with his paw, not his peen. Well, so guys, anyway, this is the issue here. This all comes down to, and we're gonna get to, Kendrick Lamar and Drake were talking shit to each other. Dropping diss tracks on each other. And Kendrick Lamar apparently went for the kill shot. And yes, if you believe the rumors and the talk out there, Drake kind of goes in the circles of P. Diddy and R. Kelly. And I mean, that was some of the talk too. When R. Kelly got brought down, people were saying, watch, Drake is going to be soon. And if you go back through the lawsuit against Diddy, that big one we read through, where they were kind of like naming people without naming people, they mentioned a Canadian rapper. And obviously there's really only one real Canadian rapper, and that's Drake. So, yeah, there's a lot of bad things out there. There's a lot of bad things. So we're going to get started. Actually, how many we got here right now? Yeah, we got some people going. John is saying, am I potentially Santa this month? Potentially your daddy this month. No, I am not Santa this month. Loving 2 times. Why is she always young? Well, because she's halfway across the house. So she's got to say, that's the only way it works. And Stabby, I'll send you, I'll take a look for that thing. Okay. Let me, I saw your message. All right. Your Sean coin got rugged. Well, that's why you bought Sean coin. You should have bought Clyde coin. Clyde coin's always stable. Always stable. Drake is the whitest rapper since Vanilla Ice. Yes. All right, so we're going to get started. Well, all Canadian rappers suck. How many Canadian rappers really are there? How many are there really at the end of the day? Okay, so we're gonna get started on this, and to get started, we do need to show. Something I think that'll help just so you guys understand who we're dealing with. If you happen to not understand the parties involved, and this is just basically a little bit of a chart here, okay? So, in the one corner, you have Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick Lamar is right here, and he is under Interscope Records. All right. Then you have Drake. Drake is the Canadian phenom, and he is signed under Republic Records. Now, Republic Records is owned both by Universal Music Group. So Universal Music Group is daddy for everybody. Universal Music Group is in charge of everybody. So while Universal Music Group doesn't have Kendrick Lamar and Drake signed to them, they are the parent company, and this is very common. You got many subsidiaries. Universal Music Group has a bunch of record labels underneath it. So this is not abnormal. So wasn't Vanilla Ice from Canada? I don't think so. Tom McDonald was born in Canada? What? I didn't know that. Anyway, this is just basic so you guys understand why this is actually a problem and why Drake is suing Republic for what may have gone on for Kendrick Lamar. Now Kendrick Lamar, I wish I could play the song, but Kendrick Lamar wrote a bunch of songs back at the beginning of the year and released them all around the early part of the year. And in May, he finally ended with the final song, Not Like Us. Now, the idea is that Drake and a lot of these other guys, they ain't like us. They're, they happen to be the type of thing that Adobe Acrobat can read, that type of file, a PDF file. And as part of that, there was a cover album that they was put out, and this is Drake's mansion in Toronto. And if you notice, it's got a bunch of little icons on it, as though it's a sex offender website. And that is kind of like the final act in this entire thing. There were many allegations made by Kendrick Lamar that Drake is a pedo, is involved with pedos, does pedo stuff. Drake, and he alleges Drake does a lot of other shit. Now, in response to that song, Not Like Us, Drake really got upset. And things kind of have spiraled from there. Because right now, Drake has filed basically what's called pre-litigation action. So he's not officially suing yet, but he's basically doing everything but sue. And these are, notices and actions putting everyone on notice he wants to do things. Now, some of you might say, well, how does that work? If you're going to sue somebody, sue them and then get their depositions, collect all their information and all that. Why can you go to court and say, well, I'm not suing. This is like pre-suing. Well, it's done like this because you're dealing with major, multinational corporations. There's a lot of moving parts involved. And this is a way to preserve things, get depositions, do a little bit of research ahead of time. Now, it's going to be we're going to read through these. These are very different types of filings. There's a lot more to these than just a basic complaint and some allegations. And then we're going to get into these. So as we go in the order of things that were done, these were filed on the same day, but we're going to start off with what happens in New York. So these are not in federal court yet. This is the other thing. These are not in federal court. Now, Drake has the option of filing where he wants to file, and that's, not sure. I'm not sure why he did that like that, but he could have filed in federal court possibly. Sometimes he might not be allowed to. But this allows him to do pre-action disclosure is what he's seeking, okay? So, in the matter of the application of Frozen Monuments LLC, this is Drake's company. That's everything that owns Drake and everything like that. You have UMG Recordings and Spotify. Now, this is in the Supreme Court of New York, in the County of New York. So, remember, chat, we talked about this before in New York. In New York, the Supreme Court is your trial level. The Supreme Court is not your final level. And remember, the County of New York is Manhattan. Manhattan Island is New York County. And then, like, for, each one of the boroughs is its own county. Brooklyn is Kings County. Then there's Queens County. There's all the other counties there. So this is in Manhattan Island. Now, Spotify is being sued, and this is done to, and they're going to explain why they're doing this. Porcelain Thunder says, you never heard of Gordon Lightfoot doing this? No. So where do we go from here? Well, this is going to lay out the theory of what's going on. So they won an order granting limited pre-action disclosure from the respondents, UMG, Universal Music Group, and Spotify, and directing the preservation of relevant evidence in the possession, custody, and control of UMG. Now, we've covered this before, chat. You can file these letters of like pre-litigation notice where you say, please start retaining data. We may be looking to file suit. And it puts everybody on notice. This is a far more official action because obviously you're getting the court involved. Now, here's the nature of the dispute. In a memo back in 2021, the CEO of UMG, Lucian Grange, and if you guys remember the P. Diddy stuff, he is P. Diddy's boy. Him and them are boys. They're broskies, you might want to say. Said it's harder than ever for artists to break through the noise. 60,000 songs are added to Spotify every day. Oh, that's pretty fucking awesome. It's pretty based. I'm glad. And Spotify is the world's most popular audio streaming subscription service. As of the end of the third quarter of 2024, so as of the end of the summer, Spotify boasted more than 640 million monthly active users and among 252 million subs. Now, those are people paying. And like the funny thing is, that's when you think about numbers, is that really that big? I mean, it's a lot, but it's not a lot. It's Twitter. I'm sure Twitch is monthly, active things there. The amount of people subscribing in Twitch and through Amazon and through YouTube and Rumble and Kick. Like, it's big, but it's not that big. Remember, chat, you might think you're the baddest bitch on the block, but there's always a bitch that's badder than you. There's always a bigger fish. So, while Spotify is huge, they're not that big. Anyway, Spotify pays companies like UMG for the right to license songs so it can play them on its streaming services and subscription platforms. And that's true because you can go on Spotify. There are times where they don't have certain albums from certain artists because they haven't been licensed for it. And in 2023 alone, Spotify paid more than $9 billion in royalties to music labels and producers. That's a lot. There's a lot, chat. There's a lot of money at this. There's a lot of money in this. So there's a lot of money in this. Hip-hop is one of the most popular genres on Spotify, amounting nearly a quarter of all streams on Spotify globally in 2023. And they say Spotify and UMG have a long-standing symbiotic business relationship. As one of the early supporters, UMG entered in a multi-year global agreement with Spotify in 2020. UMG and Spotify collaborate on strategic marketing campaigns and products, and in 2024, announced an expansion of the strategic partnership through which Spotify will amplify music discovery and social interaction and enhance fan experiences across the platform for UMG's family of artists and songwriters. So they're kind of giving them the preferential attention and effort. Based on UMG's financial reporting, Spotify paid around $2.28 billion in 2023, which was 19% of UMG's total revenue in 2023. We're talking about big money, chat. Big money. So they say streaming is essential to UMG's current bottom line and its future business strategy. In a report related to the third quarter of 2024, UMG noted a nearly 29% year-over-year decrease in downloads and other digital revenue because of the continued format shift towards streaming across the music industry. UMG's strategy relies on accelerating the growth of a monetization from streaming and subscription. Yeah, right now it's kind of the thing, but downloading it, you actually have it, and it's not as good as like physical, but still. In 2020, in October, UMG unveiled a new slogan, Streaming 2.0. That's so cringe, which illustrates the importance UMG places on saturating the streaming market. In 2024, UMG did not rely on chance or even ordinary business practices to break through the noise on Spotify and likely other platforms. It instead launched a campaign to manipulate and saturate the services and airways with a song, Not Like Us, in order to make that song go viral, including by using bots and pay-to-play agreements. Now, we get to the point of how they're talking about this, and they're going to lay out their theory of what, and it's not, this is not the complaint, but remember, you got to explain why you want to be able to do all this crap before you file a lawsuit. So you're almost going to have to explain what's going on. Downloading is physical, you nerd dummy. I'm talking about actually having a physical, like, in your hand CD. So, yeah, and here's the thing, and that's why you're saying, like, having it. No, that's like saying the games I download off Steam, I have physical copies of. No, Steam can stop me from using them at any time if they want to. Steam can alter them, just like iTunes. iTunes edited an album, a band edited their album, and iTunes swapped out everything you downloaded. So, yeah, it's there's a difference. Now, UMG released Not Like Us, or The Song, on May 4th, 2024. Pursuant to various contractual rights, UMG, via its division Interscope Records, has exclusive control over the licensing of the song. On information belief, UMG charged Spotify licensing rates 30% lower than its usual licensing rates for Not Like Us in exchange for Spotify affirmatively recommending the song to users who are searching for other unrelated songs and artists. Okay. Sounds so good so far, doesn't it, right? UMG and Spotify made a deal. It's their music. They're allowed to license it out. Neither UMG nor Spotify disclosed that Spotify had received compensation of any kind in exchange for recommending the song. Well, like, is that the thing you want to say? Like, when the recommendation pops up, by the way, we're getting shilled to push this. Like, come on now. Like, that's not really, like, that's not going to get you anywhere. That's not going to get you anywhere. Upon belief, Spotify pays UMG licensing fees through the wires or mails. Probably through the wires. I doubt they're just sending straight checks. UMG directly or through Interscope also conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to inflate the spread of Not Like Us and deceive consumers. You're really going to tell me that Hollywood, they would deceive consumers? I mean, no way. I just, the horror of it all. You know, multinational corporations who produce consumer goods are going to lie to us and get us to consume more and more and more stuff. Like, come on now. Now you're just not, what are you going to tell me next? That there's a cabal of pedophiles in Hollywood? A cabal of like cannibal pedophiles? Like, really? No way. And they say bots are software programs designed to mimic human behavior and appear to be real social media accounts. One individual, unknown to petitioner, and I love how they're like, well, you don't know who they are. Well, then how do you know what they're doing? Revealed publicly on a popular podcast that Mr. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth's label, Interscope, paid him via third parties to use bots to achieve 30 million streams on Spotify in the first days of the release of Not Like Us, with the goal of jump-starting the song spread and turning into a crazy hit on the platform. I mean, I always assume they're doing that. I always assume everything's an op. I mean, it's nice that they're admitting that these are all like psyops, and most of Hollywood's a psyop. The whistleblower describes Spotify as a user platform and a bot because it does not, like others, have security measures. And they revealed that further in May of 2024, an individual affiliated with Interscope sent him a payment of $2,500 via the digital payment platform Zelle, which is owned by a number of banks. It was that he was promised another $2,500 and a percentage of the song's total sales for this push. It's like, okay, what's the problem? So far, this is all right. Now, and they say again, UMG hired other unknown third parties to use bots and to inflate the streams and not like us. And they said UMG did this in similar services. They apparently approved payments to Apple to have its voice activated assistant Siri purposely misdirect users to not like us. Online sources reported that when Siri was asked to play the album Certified Lover Boy by recording artist Aubrey Drake Graham, doing business as Drake, and if you guys didn't know, that is Drake's full name, Aubrey Drake Graham, Siri instead played Not Like Us, which contains the lyric Certified Pedophile, an allegation against Drake. Yeah. Whoops. Uh-oh. Now, engaged in similar pay-to-play schemes to increase, UMG engaged similar play-to-play schemes to increase the airplay of Not Like Us on the radio. Now, that means also they're going to go after iHeartRadio, but iHeartRadio is not listed in this lawsuit, but they will be sued in Texas. We'll get to all that. The petitioners obtained information from a third party indicating at least one UMG employee made payments to an independent radio promoter serving as an intermediary who agreed then to transfer those payments to certain radio stations and employees. Those radio stations played Not Like Us without disclosing they had been paid to do so. Like, that's the entire music industry. You get paid to promote. You know, it's just listening to Drake crying about this. It's like, you know, these Talmudic gentlemen and their underhandedness. It's so wrong, chat. It's not fair. It's not fair. They say this practice, known as payola, is prohibited by the Communications Act of 1934 and has been the subject of regulatory scrutiny by a number of executive agencies. In 2006, UMG agreed to pay $12 million in a settlement with the New York Attorney General following an investigation involving accusations that UMG executives had used a broad array of pay-to-play tactics to consider radio airplay. In connection with the settlement, then Attorney General Elliot Spitzer, guys remember him? He had a big thing for hookers. I remember that guy. Oof. He's gone. He said consumers have a right not to be misled about the way in which music they hear on the radio is selected. Really, though, does it really matter that much? I mean, like, it's you're hearing fucking music on the radio. It's not like you're being fucked around at the grocery store when you're trying to buy food. He continued to say that pay-for-play makes a mockery of claims that only the best or most popular music is broadcast. You mean, so you're telling me when Casey Kasem's doing the Hot America Top 40, that's not true? Say it ain't so, Casey. Why? It's not true. I know Casey Kasem's dead, but still, you know, like, really, this is what we're reduced to. Like, they're explaining to us everything's kayfabe now. Like, we assumed it generally was. And they say that separately in 2005, UMG was sued by two radio promotion companies alleging pay-to-play practices. While historically payola has been thought of in terms of paying radio stations to play songs, in 2020, the Federal Trade Commission released guidance stating that by paying an influencer to pretend that their endorsement review is untainted by a financial relationship, this is illegal payola. But were those radio stations saying anything other than, here's the new hit song? I don't see that how they're doing that yet. But they say upon information belief, UMG employed a similar scheme by playing social media influencers to promote and endorse a song and video. For example, UMG paid the popular and our NFR podcast, the Nefer podcast. Oh, that's a, one letter off, and it'd been very weird to say that. Anyways, this podcast is nearly 300,000 subscribers on YouTube and over 330,000 followers on X to promote Not Like Us, and it's a video without disclosing the agreement. As part of its deal, UMG and the Niffer podcast published episodes, tweets, and other content publicly about the song. And in a sea change for their internal policy, UMG removed the song's copyright restrictions on YouTube and Twitch, thereby whitelisting the song for the first time in UMG history, which further incentivized people to spread the song. Well, when you make a fucking hot single, people want it. And when you make it, people want to share it and they want to get it going. I mean, this is not hard. This is not rocket science. So, anyways, they talk about UMG's scheme to reach Not Like Us broke through on Spotify and elsewhere worked. Not Like Us broke Spotify records. As it got posted, Not Like Us became the fastest rap song to reach 300 million Spotify streams. It took only 35 days. That's a lot of fucking views, though, Chad. I will say at the end of the day, that's a lot of damn views. That's crazy. That is a crazy number of views. Ticklestein says you can play it and comment on it. Is it still open? I don't know if it's still allowed. Like I'm kind of nervous about it because I don't think it's available right now. I don't know if I can do it. I'd love to, but I don't know if it's good. I mean, like I've got it sitting here and like, other people appear to have done it and nobody caused problems, but I just don't know. So, you know what though? We might just play it a little bit here. Spotify doesn't pay artists shit. Yeah, well, that's why you got to be on the label. Robert says I'm not even sure what that song is. You can. Emily B. Baker did it last week. Okay, if she played it, all right, fuck it, I'll play it. Although Emily's a little different than me. Emily's got friends at YouTube. Emily's a big deal. I'm just saying that would be a little different here for how she handled stuff because Emily could kind of do whatever, but I don't know if she played it, but you know what? Fuck it, we'll try it. If the stream goes down, I'm blaming you, Ticklestein. I'm gonna blame you. Yeah, she has clout, unlike me. She does. Well, she's also really good at what she does. Okay, so if you guys haven't heard it, this is Not Like Us. Here's a little bit of Not Like Us. And we got closed captioning here too, chat. So this will help you guys a little bit. So here we go.
The industry can hate me, fuck them all and they mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass and hide the Bible if God watching. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to score with him. Walking down whole time, I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort shit, bully the flow on him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs. And party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a...
So that with that part there so far, guys, you hear him talking about Drake, you better not go to jail. In Cell Block 1, they won't like you. Now, why is it they won't like you in Cell Block 1? You're like, oh my gosh, it's an awful song. You don't have to like it, but this is where these two guys, they're this is like Khrushchev and Kennedy. They're talking to each other. They're fighting a war with words. So that's kind of where we get to this here. So as you can see, he's starting to. We're only going to play this little bit here because when we get to the pedophile part. But no, we're not going to mute it because you have to hear it. Cell block 1, is that where there's lifers? No. But he's just saying you don't want to go to prison, Drake. That's the thing here. Yes, smack your ass and hide the Bible. But here we go. Here's the part where he gets to Drake here.
Weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, that fuck 'em up. Wop.
Now, obviously, he said certified lover boy, certified pedophiles. So remember, Loverboy is one of Drake wrote an album, Loverboy. And then this thing here, that's an owl. Drake's thing, OVO Records, like OVO, it's obviously meant to be an owl. That's kind of his thing. But yes, wop. It's like, I should be offended now. You can't say that word, Kendrick. That's my word. So, but yes, he called him a certified pedophile. Now, an owl like Bilderberg, well, that's another thing too, but I'm going to be about that. I'll be back. Earl says he could have been referring to anyone. I know. It's like, there's pedophiles everywhere in the music industry. Who knows who he's talking to? So, anyway, he just goes off on Drake, keeps burning his ass down. We're not gonna keep going with that chat. We are gonna go back to the actual suit here and keep reading through things here. All right. So they say, to date, Not Like Us has almost 900 million streams on Spotify and holds the record for the biggest single day streams of a hip hop song and the most streamed diss track in Spotify history. Well, there's a bit of an issue here for Drake because since this got filed, streams and downloads of Not Like Us overall have increased by about 400%. 400%, chat. 400%. So, yeah, this is not going very well. Kale says, read the disclaimer. What disclaimer? Song is catchy, but it's annoying after a while. Yeah, it is. So. Oh, you guys want to go back to this disclaimer? No OVHOs were harmed during the making of this video. And that's because it's the, chat, like OVO, meant to be like an owl's face, and that's OVO. So OVHOs. Get it? He's like, ha, 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 ha. So, you guys wanted to pull up his pants. Well, you guys are asking for a lot here. Yes, there's a Streisand effect. And yes, it's almost as much as Clyde Coin. So, yes, this is kind of backfired for Drake. It's getting even worse. Not Like Us has spent 27 weeks on Spotify's chart for New York City, which ranks streaming popularity of songs by users in New York, so meaning Manhattan. In the 5 boroughs. Within a week of its initial release, Not Like Us broke the record for most streamed song in a 7-day period with nearly 100 million streams. After UMG published the video Not Like Us, Not Like Us returned to the number 1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100. Okay, well, are you arguing that helped push? They're arguing this helped push it by doing all the botting. Look what it did. It caused more. They asked her to it initially, and then it took hold. The Billboard Hot 100 in the same week, which, let's be real, they probably pay for that placement on the Hot 100 as well. The song was streamed an additional 53.8 million times. It played on the radio an additional 40 million times. From basically the month of July 2024 The video ranked first on YouTube's weekly top music videos chart. And let's see, what is the what is the totals for Kendrick Lamar's video right now here on Kendrick Lamar? Let's take a look at this chat. How much is it right here? We're going to see right now. How many views since July 4th, 2024 on Kendrick Lamar's YouTube tier? 188 million. Uh-oh. Drake, you're not doing it right, buddy. This isn't working right. Uh-oh. Tickle Seed says, I believe all those streams are legit. I mean, my 60-plus-year-old European mom played it and knew about this bitch fight. And Maddie says, yes, this guy's out here, Kendrick Lamar, is talking about a pedophile, and you're all hating on him. It's like, this is where it comes from. He's speaking truth to power. But yes, this is not looking good for Drake. Like, everybody's listening to it. On November 13th, iHeartRadio leaderboard reported Not Like Us was the second most popular song on the platform. On New York radio, Not Like Us remains as the Daedalus filing a top 40 hit on popular music stations, including Z100, Power 105, and then WQHT, which is also known as Hot 97. Like, yes, the biggest fucking radio stations in the city of New York are fucking banging this out routinely still. Like, you're losing here, Drake. You're not winning. Are you winning, son? No. Not at all. From May to August, the song was in the top 10 of all songs streamed in New York City. And it's amazing. All this right here, chat. Think about when you're using apps, all the data they can collect from you. They know this in that city alone. In the geographical confines of New York City, everybody's listening to this dude from fucking Compton. The East Coast is listening to a West Coast cat doing this. Like, it's just amazing what they can get from all their stats. So UMG touted the success. Interscope reposted that the song had become the best-selling rap song of 2024. UMG posted on its X account about the song charting as the most streamed song. They were so proud of it. And they say the scheme to artificially populate Not Like Us was motivated at least in part by the desire of executives at Interscope to maximize their own profits. Yeah, they're going to try to increase their profits. And they say UMG executives have an annual incentive program pursuant to which they are rewarded for meeting and surpassing sales and profits projections, among other metrics. Yeah. The incentives are largely based on specific UMG division rather than the performance of UMG more generally. So, for example, the annual incentive or bonus of Interscope CEO John Janik is based 90% on the financial success of Interscope and only 10% on the success of UMG as a whole. Thus, they found permission to believe Janik and other executives at Interscope, they have been incentivized to maximize the financial success of Interscope through the promotion of Not Like Us. Okay, yeah. One would assume that that's how this works. They make more money. Like, yes. Like, yes, businessmen doing business. Like, as Calvin Coolidge once said, chat, the business of America is business. Yes. Wait, you're telling me if they exceed projections, they get a bonus? Oh no! That's the horror of capitalism, chat. No! No! It's so evil. So evil. Oh no. Oh. Mavka saying shit like this is why people hate lawyers. Probably. But shit like this is why people hate Drake. Remember, they're doing what Drake told them to do. So, petitioner has received information that UMG has been taking steps in an apparent effort to conceal its schemes, including but not limited to terminating employees associated with or perceived as having loyalty to Drake. They say, indeed, UMG has demonstrated it has no interest in taking responsibility for their misconduct. Over the past several months, Drake has repeatedly sought to engage UMG in discussions to resolve the harm he suffered as a result of their actions. UMG refused to engage in negotiations and insisted that UMG is not responsible. Instead, UMG has pointed the finger at Mr. Duckworth, insisted that Drake should initiate legal action against Duckworth rather than UMG, and even threatened to bring his own legal claims against Duckworth if Drake were to pursue them against UMG. And they say streaming and licensing is a zero-sum game. Is it really? Every time a song breaks through, another artist does not. Well, that's not true. It's not a finite pie. It's an infinite pie. There's pie for everyone. There's pie for everybody. So UMG's choice to saturate the music market but not like us comes at the expense of other artists like Drake. And they say, as Drake is the petition's sole owner, and the petitioner owns the copyright to Drake's entire catalog, the petitioner suffered economic harm as a result of UMG's scheme. Hold on one second. No, it's not DuckTales. Besides, Mr. Ducksworth is in the Mighty Ducks. He's Gordon Bombay's boss. So if you're going to make that like... Yeah. But no, Duckworth, no, we're not talking about DuckTales. It's not Scrooge. It's not the guy coming after Scrooge like it's Billions. It's not the Michael Prince coming after Axe. Okay. Oh. So they say the parties. The Frozen Moments LLC is the liability. LLC registered in the state of Florida. It's an entity wholly owned by Drake. And that means he's the copyright holder of Drake's sound recordings and music videos. As such, Drake competes with Interscope. UMG is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Universal Music Group. It's publicly owned, and they list out all the information here, which they represent Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. If you guys didn't know, that is Kendrick's name. So you guys are wondering who Duckworth is. I thought I'd leave that for a second. It is Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. And if he didn't have the name of Lamar in the middle, but it was like Kendrick Thomas Duckworth or Kendrick Robert Duckworth, I'd be like, wow, I expect him to be at like a yacht club and around and go, yes, Muffy, darling, let's go play some croquet. Ha-ha. And Republic Records represents Drake. Interscope's publicity team operates out of the 1775 Broadway office. So they talk about the locations in New York that they have. And yeah. Respondent Spotify is a Delaware corporation. Its headquarters in New York City at 4 World Trade Center. At least not at Building 7, remnants. At 150 Greenwich Street in New York, New York. Now, they point out that these companies all have minimal contacts with the state of New York, and that by having business and doing business in the state of New York, they've availed themselves to the protections and the laws of the state of New York, meaning it's proper to sue them in New York State court. So they go through all of this. They talk about the real property here. We're not really going to go through the jurisdiction. The venue is proper. The venue's proper. This is not going to get tossed on venue. But we're going to get to the pre-action discovery and preservation. So Frozen Moments commenced this so they could identify appropriate defendants and frame a complaint for a claim under which once again, Chad, I tell you this all the time, the Racketeering, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act. It's Drake. It's never Rico. It's not Rico. It's not Rico, Drake. God damn it. It's not Rico. It will never be Rico. You're a Canadian rapper suing a music label. You're not going after the Genovese crime family. Like, give it a break. This is not the right action. Rico is never the answer. Rico is never the answer. Rico is never the answer. Rico like the singer? No. Like Johnny Rico for Starship Troopers. Rico! And no, it's not Rico. Suave. Not that Rico either. Oh. Could it be lupus? Once in a while it is lupus, okay? There's a better chance it's gonna be lupus than it is ever gonna be Rico. All right? All right. Okay, so he wants to identify proper defendants and frame a complaint for a claim under Section 349 of the business law. And that's under the New York False Advertising Act. Okay, that makes more sense. The civil RICO. Yes, that's the name of a guy from Puerto Rico who doesn't carry a knife. He's a civilized RICO. The viable with the predicate acts of wire fraud and mail fraud or bribery for the payments to unknown third parties in the form of reducing license fees to Spotify. They say, however, petition requires additional information in order to frame this complaint and satisfy the 9B heightened pleading applicable when complaints sounding in fraud. Now, here, remember, guys, when you file a complaint, when you sue someone for fraud, in almost every state, fraud has to be fled with, like, other times you could just make a general statement. But fraud has to be pled with particularity. You have to spell it all the way out. All right? They say specifically petition requires information about the method by which third parties were paid in order to determine which predicate acts to plead and requires information about which benefits were conferred. They say petitioner lacks sufficient information to identify the third parties. So they basically want to depose these guys and figure out who the hell you talked to and who did what. Now, the deceptive business practices of false advertising, this makes a little more sense here. They claim that UMG paid at least one third party to use bots, and this extended to multiple third parties to stream the songs of the video. They say UMG also gave benefits to Spotify and other known parties to promote and play the video without discussing the payments, which I still don't know if that's really going to get you anywhere. UMG then, so you're probably going to find out we do it all the time. So they're arguing that success was inflated by its own manipulation, though that harms consumers. Does it really harm consumers? Because I'm going to say Kendrick Lamar is a better artist than Drake is. I'm just saying. They say they also violate the New York Deceptive Business Act and the False Advertising Act. And they say without the discovery, we lack sufficient information to identify the known but anonymous third-party streamer. And we also lack sufficient facts to frame the complaint regarding what was exchanged for UMG's payments. So they seek the following pre-disclosure, and they want limited disclosure. They don't want everything. They just want limited. The documents communication sufficient to show the identities of all third parties that UMG, its agents, or anyone working on behalf of UMG Interscope paid to promote, publish, or recommend the song. Now think about that. Think about that. So it's not like they're just asking for one thing. Think about how many parties, third parties, they paid or worked with to promote and publish and recommend the song. Think about how many people they probably talked to. And remember, it's UMG and Interscope, so it's any employee at Interscope doing that. Holy cow, it is going to be like a fucking mess. That's a lot of shit to ask for. They say with, it's accompanying image, but they said, but not including the radio stations, influencers, music platforms, and publications. But they want the dates, methods, and amounts of those payments. Think about all the crap they're going to have to go find, if it even exists. They also want the documents and communications sufficient to show the identities of all third parties that were paid to use bots or other similar technology to stream the video or song, as well as dates, methods, and amounts of those. And they said they also want to show what the third parties agreed to provide and did provide in exchange for the payments. I don't know what they think they're going to get out of this. But yeah, they're basically going to want everything. They want everything, more or less. So this is just going to be very onerous discovery, and we're not even in the case yet. And it's going to be very onerous. It's going to be a pain in the ass. I assume that UMG is going to move to crush this, and it'll be hilarious when they do. But yes, this is Drake. This is how Drake fights his rap battle. You might have back in the day, imagine this, like freaking Tupac and Biggie are talking, I got shooters, and Drake's like, well, I've got Jewish lawyers. Ah, okay. That's why I said this is the lamest rap feud ever. Yes, NBC Universal is a large company, and that's the parent company. Universal. It's NBC Universal. So, yes. They got moles. Anyways, they also want additional information from Spotify to show the dates, methods, and benefit that they paid to anything license fees provided to Spotify by UMG Interscope or anyone working on behalf of them in exchange for the promotion, publication, or recommendation of the song on Spotify. And the documents that are sufficient to show what Spotify agreed to provide and did provide in exchange for those benefits. And they say they're concerned. They commence a special proceeding. So they asked us to preserve all documents and communications regarding the song image and video during the pendency of the litigation. Now, why do they say this? Because they expect much of the relevant evidence will be in the form of messages on social media platforms, payment applications, and text messages, not limited to iMessage and WhatsApp. They may not be preserved in the usual course of business. And that's why you do this. You're telling them to preserve now. They're further aware that senior executives at UMG regularly communicate for business through messaging platforms and applications. Yes, so they won't use email. Email is a trail, but you can use Signal. You can use WhatsApp. You can use whatever. So there are ways and reasons why you might use those things. But also remember, talking to any, people who were, recommending it, the promotion, publication, or recommendation of the song. They're talking about social media influencers. Well, guess what? They're going to use social media. There's probably a lot of Twitter. There's probably YouTube, messaging. There's probably some Google messaging. There's probably all kinds of stuff in there that's going to be set up. So, yeah, I'm going to roll with my homies. Trey Rotten, and Biggie and Pac moved to Argentina. That's where they are. See, I'd always heard Tupac was hiding with Master P in the. Why does this keep going off? What the heck? Why does it keep doing that? But anyways, I always heard Tupac is in the hood with Master P, so that's the way I always understood it. Anubis says, speaking of discovery, the one concerning the Gina Carano trial will be a popcorn ready. We're going to get to that. There's a lot of updates in that, and it's going to need its own show. So, they also point out UMG has been sanctioned on at least one occasion for discovery violations, and they cite that out of the Southern District of New York back in 2022. They say Exhibit A to the verified petition is a proposed subpoena ducis tecum to UMG, commanding UMG to produce the information. They have another one to Spotify and another proposed order pursuant to this. The form of subpoena is attached as Exhibits A and B. They say no previous application has been made for the relief requested. You're just pointing out to the court, like, look, this is the first time we're asking for it. You're just making it clear. And there's never anything wrong with that, especially like you ask for extensions or, continuing motions. You'll put in there like, this is our first one or this is our second one. It's never a bad idea. Because it doesn't look like you're hiding things at that point. So they also want they want an order compelling UMG to preserve all their documents regarding the song, image, and video. They want Spotify to provide the petitioner with 14 days by overnight mail a copy of an order with notice of entry, documents, and communication responsive to the request. And they also want any other relief the court may deem just and proper. So that is, and this is the, this is Drake, this is Aubrey Drake Graham, which that's Drake's name, affirms this under the penalty of perjury, that I am the corporate officer of Petitioner Frozen Moments, LLC. Say, I've read the foregoing petition. Its factual components are true to my personal knowledge, except that those matters alleged herein to be upon information and belief. And that's why you see, chat, when people say upon information and belief, because you can kind of hide behind, well, it's like a bit of a shield in causing potential defamation. Upon information and belief. Those matters, because it's also like if it turns out to be a false statement, you could say it was upon information and belief. Because if you don't couch it in those terms, you're making factual statements. So that's something you have to be careful about when you're doing that. So, yes, Aubrey v. Duckworth. This sounds like a fucking... This sounds like a... It just sounds so funny. It sounds so hardcore, chat. Sounds so hardcore. Hit 'Em Up is the best diss song of all time. Yes. Anyways, signed by Drake. If you ever want Drake's signature, there you go. Now you can have Drake's autograph. Now, in addition to this one, Drake moseyed on down to Texas, Tejas, on the same day, the 25th. You can see right there in the corner on the 25th. And a battle of the billionaires. It's not really billionaires yet, but yes, a bunch of rich guys fighting, and it's, Ether is the only diss song. So this ended up being filed by Drake in Texas, in San Antonio, in Bexar County. Not, some people might say Bexar. No, it's Bear. It's Bear. So I don't know why they, that is what they call it. It's Espanolish. I don't know why they do it, but it's what they call it. So, it's apparently mean to be the land of beehives. The place of beehives, or the land of bees. Anyway, that's why they call it that. Tejas instead of Texas, yes. Eric's saying, give it a like, yes. Dios mío, oy, ay, 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 ay. Oh, no. But yes, that's why, people say, like, they call it Bexar County. I'm like, if that means bear, why don't they just call it oso? I thought oso is the definition of bear, and it is. But, that's apparently, yeah. I know these Mexicans can't spell. I know. The fuck do they think they are? Using our letters and numerals. Anyways, this is Drake's verified petition for depositions. So kind of like what happened with Steven Crowder when he was trying to go get depositions for people. Drake is trying to do the same thing, He's trying to get some of that hotline bling. So anyway, he's doing these because he wants to get representatives of iHeartMedia, UMG, and Interscope because of this. Now, they go through all the things that are going on here. This is a lot of the similar stuff we've seen before. They talk about Not Like Us again. Now, here's the thing. This is where we find out in Texas what this is. It's a defamation lawsuit. Now, this is one. Yes, Nick can get it right this time, Chad. It's a defamation lawsuit. Now, here's the thing. By falsely accusing him of being a sex offender, engaging in pedophilic acts, harboring sex offenders, and committing other criminal sexual acts. So that's the issue here. And it's because Kendrick Lamar is one of UMG's most prominent artists. Along with Drake, Drake is one of their most prominent artists. Specifically, the song calls Drake a certified pedophile, a predator. It's someone whose name should be registered and placed on Neighborhood Watch. Okay. They say, pursuant to his rights under various contracts, UMG has exclusive control over the licensing of Not Like Us and could have refused to release or distribute the song or required the offending material be edited or removed. And this is why in this defamation thing, he's suing UMG because they put it out there. They have exclusive control over it. They're publishing it. They're spreading the defamation. It's the same reason why, like, when you write a book, a publisher's going to read through it to make sure you don't do anything defamatory because they get sued as well. But you see here, they're not requesting a deposition of Kendrick Lamar, but they're going to, probably get to that at some point. They'll probably get to that at some point. And I can't wait for Kendrick Lamar to go, no, it's all true. I think he's a pedophile. Like, he's probably going to be like, yeah, I think he is one. And he'll be like, oh. That'll be hilarious when it gets to that point. But we've got a long way to go. Remember, chat, this is a pre-litigation. This is a pre-sue. This is a pre-lawsuit filing. So we're still in the holding pattern here. We're still in the holding pattern. Tony Galati says, Drake needs a Swiss mercenary style approach to law. I get that reference. Trump once saying, how do we get from RICO to defamation? Well, here's the thing. Kendrick Lamar's song is defamatory because he accuses Drake of being a pedophile. Okay, so in addition to that, remember, UMG then turned around and paid Spotify shitloads of money to cover the song. So you can do two things at once. You can have one of your artists create a defamatory work, and then you could turn around and start paying out money to people to push that out there and make it bigger and bigger and bigger. You can amplify the defamation, basically. So not only did UMG commit defamation or allow defamation to happen, they did unfair trade and business practices to make that happen. So that's why you have the two lawsuits. You have the New York one and you have the Texas one. Big problem with Texas, though, chat. This is a defamation lawsuit because now they're talking about the false statements and how it's false. Because notice, you didn't see any of this before. This whole part right here, this didn't exist in the New York lawsuit. And there's a reason why. Because that's not where they filed it. But here's the problem. Texas has an anti-SLAPP statute. And this is probably going to get hit with the anti-SLAPP. So they argued that UMG designed, financed, and executed a plan to turn Not Like Us into a viral mega hit with the intent of using the spectacle of harm to Drake and his business to drive consumer hysteria and, of course, massive revenues. And they say the plan succeeded, likely beyond their wildest expectations. So they talk about, releasing the music video, the song in May, and the music video in July. And they say UMG made Not Like Us available for radio play, including iHeartRadio, a mass media corporation headquartered in San Antonio, Texas. iHeart boasts that it is the number one media company in the U.S. based on consumer research. iHeartRadio claims it reaches 9 out of 10 Americans every month and has more reach than any other media company in the U.S. And they say iHeartRadio owns iHeartRadio, a freemium broadcast, podcast, radio streaming, and music streaming platform. Radio stations all over the country, including stations owned by iHeartMedia, have played Not Like Us. Yep, and they have. Not Like Us. Also, you could argue Not Like Us. We haven't done it. Like, ha, ha, ha. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh, God, I crack myself up some days, chat. I am a funny motofo. Hold on, I gotta answer this. Yes. What? Hold on here. This is not a shower chat. This is an actually important conversation or communication. Oh, hold on here. Hold on here. Um. All right. Okay. So, they say, they go through here things with iHeartMedia, as demonstrated by iHeartMedia's bankruptcy filings of 2018. The amount of money exchanged between iHeartMedia and UMG is substantial. In the last quarter of 2023, UMG, through its recorded music and publishing divisions, had an ownership interest of more than 60% of the 100 songs listed on the Billboard Hot 100 radio charts. Yeah, they're big, chat. Without the deals, iHeartMedia would lose access to a majority of its top radio hits. And they say in the first week, it got 5 million radio airplay audience impressions. In the week Not Like Us music videos released, the song got an additional 40 million times of air. And 4 months later, Not Like Us is among the top 2 songs with the most plays on iHeart radio stations. So it just, once again, it's been heard a gajillion times at this point, chat. And they say as of October, Not Like Us on their app alone had reached 45.4 million total impressions, with 15 non-consecutive weeks in charge of the R&B hip hop air playlist. Like, the song is dominated. The song has dominated, and they're showing once again it was Defamation, and now they can show, look, third parties everywhere have listened to it. So, Ticklestein says, I'm off. It's 2:30 issue. Have a good one. Well, take care, man. Fruitfly says, do they have podcasts on iHeartRadio? Yes, they do. I think it's iHeartMedia or iHeartRadio. They have a little bit of everything. And they say radio is one of the mediums which spread not like UMG spread, not like us. Within a week of the release, it broke the 96 million streams. So once again, we see that there. And since its initial release, Not Like Us is been seen and heard billions of times. They're not you're not helping yourself when you're like, oh my God, Your Honor, everybody in the world's heard this song already. They all know Drake. They all think Drake's a pedophile. Like, no. Like, it's too late. It's too late, Drake. Everybody, yes. Billions. Billions. When's Drake gonna stream with Dick and Vito? Oh, I heard he's going on Melton's first. Oh, they're banging it out there in the Punjab land, yeah. Ag says, that's not true. Although if he's gonna be Canadian, he's gonna be like, oi, you're like, hey buddy, don't be a hoser. It's not true. Oh, Drake is a rap, what LL Bean is a duck hunting. That's really good. That's really good. Drake had fake abs implanted? I didn't know that. Is that real? All right. Well, whatever. We're going to keep going. So the record-shattering spread of Not Like Us appears to have relied upon irregular and inappropriate business practices. Well, they're arguing that again. So we're not going to get to this again here. They talk about payola. Like, we already know about payola. We've already talked about it. We're going to talk about UMG agreeing to pay a settlement to New York Attorney General for doing stuff here. That one UMG employee made payments to an independent radio promoter. Okay. It's unable to confirm whether iHeart radio stations were among the stations paid as part of the pay-to-play scheme, but it happens. It's out there. And then they point out the marketing team, used discretionary funds to pay unknown third parties a share, not like us. And they say, so like we know this, chat. They keep doing it, and they're reasserting things we know in this complaint. They're reasserting all the crap we already just went over. So that's why I'm kind of skipping through it, because that's not the part we want. It's not the part we want. That's not the part we're here for. Also, is that a highlighter showing up enough for you guys to take a look at it? He says, "Did they pay Aaron?" I should ask Aaron. Aaron, did you get paid to shill for Kendrick Lamar? So here we. Okay, looks good to you guys. You guys can read it perfect. All right, so. Anyways, all this was done to inflate artificially the metrics reported relating to Not Like Us, to get even more and more people to like it, because then it became really just kind of building on it, just, artificially creating the avalanche, starting the avalanche, and then just letting it take over from there. So the whistleblower, whose identity is unknown, revealed publicly that someone from management paid him thousands of dollars to use bots to achieve 30 million streams of Not Like Us. The bots appear to be real social media accounts, but are in fact software programs designed to mimic human behavior. And they talk about more of the third-party influencers being paid to promote Not Like Us. We already know this, guys. Now, they bring this action here for a discrete and specific purpose. I like how they're arguing this is being done discreetly. We're doing this discreetly, chat, but in the meantime, we're going, oh my God, UMG and iHeartRadio are fucking drinking the ass. Oh my God, help us. This is not done. You are not doing this quietly. This is not discreet. You are not being discreet about this at all. You're telling the whole world what's going on. It doesn't work that way. Oh. So they want to know how UMG funneled payments to iHeartRadio. And its radio stations are part of the pay-to-play scheme. Petitioner has amassed sufficient facts to pursue certain tortious claims against UMG, but not limited to a claim for defamation. But currently lacks factual support necessary to determine whether he may bring claims of civil fraud and racketeering against UMG and its many, as of yet, unidentified co-conspirators who violated payola laws and accepted illicit payments, among other things of value, from UMG without disclosure. See, chat, it's defamation, but they want to know if they're like, we want to do RICO in Texas. We want to come down to Texas and do a RICO law. It's like, why? Why would you guys do this to yourself? Anyway, Drake is an individual domiciled and residing in Washington County, Texas. Now, where the fuck is Washington County? Washington County, Texas. Let's see here, chat. Let's see, chat. Where is it? Drake lives in Washington County, Texas. Okay. So this is Washington County. Okay. Okay, you got to back out a little bit. So he doesn't live, guys, here's San Antonio. Here's Houston. Kurt lives probably like right there. Boop. That's probably Kurt. Anyway, here's Austin. There's Waco, the Shrine of the Legends. But there you go, guys. That's kind of where we're talking about. That's kind of where we're looking at. So Drake lives, he does not live in Bexar County, but he does live nearby. He does live in Texas. They say iHeartMedia is an audio media company incorporated in Delaware with its primary place of business at San Antonio, Tejas. So through its radio division, iHeartRadio operates more than 60 radio stations in Texas, including 9 in San Antonio, 8 in Dallas, and 7 in Houston. That's the thing, chat. There's very likely any terrestrial radio station you listen to, and by terrestrial radio, I mean you on the FM dial. It's a good chance iHeartRadio is involved in owning that. So, iHeartRadio may be served by its registered agent, CT Corporation System. Remember how I told you there are companies that will serve as your service agent, so you can serve them and sue them. There are companies that do it, and this is one of them. Like CT Corporation, I think that's exactly the people. They do it here in Ohio, too. They say UMG is owned by a wholly owned subsidiary of Universal Music Group and via publicly owned limited liability company incorporated under the laws of the Netherlands. Interscope is a division of UMG. UMG regularly conducts business in Texas through contracts and agreements with iHeartMedia and other corporations in the state. So therefore, they're showing how people are availing themselves to the laws of the state of Texas so you can draw them in later. Because remember, you have to show jurisdiction. So the jurisdiction over iHeartMedia is because it's here in Texas. This arises out of the continuous and extensive business activities of Texas. So UMG has jurisdiction. Like there's jurisdiction over UMG to be there. But yes, they want to find out that, they believe that this has been done with the purpose of misleading residents of Texas about how radio stations are choosing what songs to play and the song's popularity. Once again, let's be real. Let's be real. Like it's all manipulated. What's pop cult? Like really? Like this is the funny part here. Like I don't think any of us here would disagree. Pop culture is all about manipulation. They tell you what to consume. They tell you how to consume it. They tell you when to consume it. Like, not like this is all shit they push and control. The corporations and the globalists. Like, that part's real. That part is real, chat. Yes, the corporations and the globalists. Like, we all agree. So this idea of like, they're telling Texans what to listen to. You do that all the fucking time. It's just Drake is not being pushed as the hot, sexy thing right now. So Drake's crying like a little bitch. Yes, Funko Pops are a great example. This is how a Jewish Canadian rapper blew up to begin with. Yes. Eric Foam says yes. Big global homo. Big globo homo. Oh. Fruit Fly City says you see a foil cowboy hat. They ain't getting through to me. You can laugh and call me a moron all you want. My mind ain't being controlled. It's not the frogs. We can't save the frogs now, chat. The frogs are gone. They've controlled the frogs. They've captured the frogs. They've made them gay. Benjamin, maybe they don't want Drake because they don't want the drawbacks. Well, I'm not going to say that. The other Serge says, lol, what nonsense. I agree. Nice to see you here, Serge. Thank you for stopping by. Oh. Gary says, that's just they want you to see. Yeah. Yeah, see, Gary's out here saying, but you don't get the globalists and the corporations, chat. They've already got you thinking. This is what they want you to do. They want you to think that they've got you in control. And by not being in control, you're doing something different. But guess what? They control that as well. They control it all. Pop culture is the psyop. It's the buffalo jump. It's like, yes. Yes. That's why you have to think it's super rationality. This is like Prisoner's Dilemma on steroids. Levels and levels of it. All right, we're going to get back to this. We got to keep going here. We got to keep going. The poor frogoids, yes. Is Stoney's part of Globo Homo? I don't know. I'm very concerned now, though. But yes, chat, it is only Tuesday night. But you know what? you can go to Stoney's. Stoney's Bar and Grill at 1580 East Broadway Street in Rockville, Minnesota. Stoney's is the place to be. Remember, chat, December 14th, they are having toys for kids. They're having a party there. You're bringing in toys to Stoney's to be donated to the Rockery Kids in Need. And they are open now, chat. They are open now. They're open till 10 p.m. So remember, if you're out that way, chat, you got an hour and 10 minutes. Get your ass out there. Have a couple of road pops. And it's Tuesday night, chat. You know what? If you get there now, you are going to catch Aaron emceeing Naked Karaoke tonight. It's Tuesday night, chat. And you know what? What better way? You know, it's cold out, so, you know, Naked Karaoke, you might back up into somebody, find yourself a friend there, have a fun time while Aaron helps MC the Naked Karaoke. And you know what happens? If you happen to be there, chat, and nobody wants to join you on that sheet, Aaron will help you out. Aaron will join you. It'll be a fun time for everybody. He promises to take care of you. That's at Stoney's, chat. Celebrating 30 years. Oh. All right. Aaron will play Naked Twister with it. Yeah, chat. If you're the only one there, he will come. He doesn't let. No, it's like Call of Duty, chat. No one fights alone. Well, nobody plays Naked Twister alone if Aaron M. Holt's around. Let me tell you what. Nobody plays alone. Mavka says, learn the time zone, fat man. Oh, it's only 7:53. Damn it, chat. You have over 2 hours to get to Stoney's and drink your ass off. Yes, the Naked Twister. It's always important. Stoney's collecting toys for the Ricada kids. Ah. Oh. Can you sing all the N-word songs during karaoke? I'm sure Aaron will. Yes, he'll set it up for you. He might not help you. Neo Dark says I'm already on the flight there. Yes, Neo Dark heard about the Naked Karaoke and he's already wheels up. Mikhail Burke says I left the stream for 20 minutes because my mom called me and you come back to Naked Twister. Tax-free Bish says Naked Twister a LawTube thing. No, that's an Aaron Imholt thing. That's a Steel Toe thing. So I guess you could. I don't know if you can attribute that to Dabbleverse, but that's an Aaron thing. So, well, yes, Michelle. If you're playing Naked Twister, you get paid with exposure, literally. Yes, Mar R says rap. Yes. All right, we're gonna keep going here, chat. All right. Tech AV says wheels up or ass up. Well, you have to get wheels up on the plane first. Then when you get there, you can do the whole face down, ass up. Although Aaron might do that for you. It depends on how he feels like twerking. We're gonna keep going though, chat. We're gonna keep going here. So they point out UMG also avails itself to Texas by directing distribution, marketing, licensing, and other business activities to Texas residents. And that's how you get involved. Like if you're conducting business in the state, you are availing yourself to Texas. You're availing yourself to the laws and protections of the state. Now, if UMG had never done anything, like they specifically said, we are going to stay outside the borders of Texas, then yes, they could argue like we have no business in Texas, but obviously that's not the case. So, and they point out Texas's long arm statute, and Texas long arm statute, that's just the long arm of the law, the long arm statute of how you can haul defendants into court for civil matters. If you guys want to learn about long arm statutes, you can Google a case called International Shoe. If you Google that, you will learn all you want to know about long arm statutes and civil procedure. International Shoe. And they say this court has jurisdiction over the matter because a substantial part of the events occurred in Bexar County, and these are claims are within the jurisdictional limits of the court. So they want to go forward with this. They want to depose people. They want pre-suit depositions. Okay. And so here, the limited rule 202 depositions are the most efficient way for Drake to understand the role of iHeartMedia and UMG's scheme to unlawfully promote Not Like Us. They say because he's only seeking limited testimony, the benefit of allowing Drake to take the requested depositions outweighs any associated burden or expense to iHeartMedia and UMG. I mean, it's a big fucking deal to go through depositions. Moreover, the interest of justice served by allowing petitioner to investigate claims before filing, and the depositions are necessary as part of the requirements of Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 13 for Drake to make an informed decision about future legal action. So what does he want to do? He's seeking an oral deposition, meaning he wants to sit down and question them, not having a written one, of iHeartMedia corporate representatives to investigate UMG's allegations of what they did. And they want to do this to, they also want to find out any intermediaries who have been involved. And they want to go to iHeartMedia, and here's its address in San Antonio. They also seek an oral deposition of UMG via corporate representatives to investigate, the conspiracy to increase radio play for Not Like Us. They want to learn about the financial benefits and learn the identities and practices of any direct participants in the scheme, and including any intermediaries who have been involved. And they want to go to UMG Records. Here's their address, though it's in California. Remember, there's jurisdiction to haul them into court in Texas. So they're arguing it's critical evidence relevant to his claims, and it's the benefit of allowing the deposition outweighs the burdens or expense of the procedure. Well, and that's the thing, Chad. If this was Drake just subpoenaing somebody like me, or he's just going after random yahoos on the internet, that would be very prohibitive. But part of the issue is here, it's not going to be super burdensome or expensive for UMG and or iHeartRadio. And they point out the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure enables someone to petition the court for an order authorizing the deposition to investigate the suit. And they say the court must order a deposition if it finds that the likely benefit of allowing the petitioner to take the requested deposition to investigate the claim outweighs the burden or expense of the procedure. And we'll see if the judge agrees, but he's got to make a ruling. So the critical evidence is not limited to the identities of the unknown defendants, is not available to Drake, and is without the request deposition, Drake may not be able to pursue the claims. And they say for the reasons set forth above, Drake is asking that the likely benefit of allowing Drake to take the requested deposition to investigate claims outweighs the burden or expense of the procedure. So they talk about the authority for depositions. They're basically a conclusion. That's what we want. Please give it to us. They said they're unaware of other parties at this time. And they say that they are asking the court to issue an order setting a date for the hearing on this with 15 days notice. So not just it's starting at 15 days, but within the next 15 days, can you tell us and then set that out so it's at least 15 days out? They want iHeartMedia to testify by oral deposition. They want UMG to testify by oral deposition. And they want all of the law and equity in which petitioner may be shown to be justly entitled. And this is done by a different law firm. It's not the same one because remember, they're in New York. So here you go. And then if you notice here, you're going to see this guy's name, Michael Gottlieb, Annie Houghton Larson. So how do you know that? Well, here we go. Well, those names seem familiar, don't they? I think they do. I think they do, chat. I think they do. Huh. Going to the New York complaint. Who's there? Who is there? These guys. Who's there? I mean, I think I've seen that name before. So there we go. Now, ultimately, this is Drake. No, that's not a call. Don't worry. It's all taken care of anyway. Don't you worry your pretty little head, kibbo. So, what do you do with this? I mean, Drake is Drake. It's not a rap battle. It's so gay. No, Drake, maybe Kendrick Lamar had banger fucking songs that were far better than what you were putting out. Like, your shit's weak, man. Well, I don't want your Hawaii bling. Like, you're the You're the Canadian rapper. Like, nobody gives a fuck. And also, like, you hang out with people who are pedophiles. So, you got some sketchiness there, brother. You got some sketchiness there. Two Scoops says, I love the S signatures. That just means that's done electronically. Because you don't want to have, like, electronic signatures saved, because then those could be abused. Shelter says, Navy's a good color on me. Thank you. Drake is chasing a headline. Yes, he is. It's awful. It's sad, and he's going to probably get fucking anti-slapped in Texas. I don't know if they can bring up anti-slap right now, but it'd be fucking hilarious if they did. I don't know how that would work down in Texas, but like I said, I had to do some looking into how these things work. Texas does a lot of these, like, pre-deposition depositions. Drake's manager is a known gangster. Watch your back. I'll be all right. I'll be all right. What the hell that noise you just made? You'll survive, Brandon. I say, quick, pay me $100. I might forget. I'm just kidding. Also, is it raining again? God, we're not going to have any fucking snow left at this point. Jeez. All right. All right, so we got some, we're all done, chat. But yeah, I don't think it's going to go anywhere for Drake. It's the lamest rap battle ever. He's just filing all this stuff here. So Selena says, oh, cool, Sean is covering this. Yes, we are. Some of you guys wanted me to cover this. More importantly, 2.0 also wanted me to cover this. So here we are. Midnight XL says, Sean, I need you to cancel this and do a painting stream tonight. We still might do some painting tonight, chat. Thank you, John, again. Ticklestein says, charts. Ty D says, do you like being a lawyer? Yeah, I mean, it's like any job. There's some days you wake up and you actually fucking hate your job and you hate everybody about it. But most days, yeah, I enjoy it. Those days I enjoy it. Tickleseed says Emily B did a video on this. The briefs say that UMG and a first of its kind whitelisted not like us from auto copyright, so it could go viral more easily. Well, here's the thing. If they want to release copyright on it, they can. Because Drake has his own copyright. Drake could release a copyright on his shit. But yeah, it appears, guys, we streamed a Kendrick Lamar song and we didn't get fucking nuked. Like, we're still out there. Like, I could see on the thing. We're still up on, like, I hate when I have to go like this because I'm pointing to my thing here, but I can see it right now. We're still live, chat. We didn't die. We didn't die. There's 450 people here on YouTube. We didn't get killed. I didn't know if the copyright had been released yet, but yes, they've gone to YouTube and said, don't, like, that's the thing. UMG went to YouTube and was like, please don't fucking nuke people for playing this song. We want this. And YouTube's like, you what? And UMG's like, we kind of want people to copyright violate this song. Which kind of points out the idea that them being dickheads and enforcing copyright is not the way to make money. It's like, loosen your copyright restrictions. It sounds like it helped you this time. Well, God, maybe that's the formula to do it all the time. It's crazy thinking, right? I mean, I don't know. Apparently, not like us fucking took off like a rocket ship. Imagine how many other songs might if you do the same kind of shit. Crazy talk. Crazy talk, I know. Angela says, sounds like Drake is having a temper tantrum that everyone was siding with Kendrick. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's what it does. It sounds like Drake sounds like a bitch. But, I mean, when you hear a Canadian rapper, you're not normally like, oh, that dude's hard. From the hard scrabble streets of Quebec. Just screaming Tabernacle as he goes. Kayla says, I know a guy in prison for RICO. It was a mob-related thing, though. Well, that's usually why they're in prison for RICO. Tony Galati says, Luigi, look, it's a message from Brian. It says, Dear pesky plumbers, the Koopalings and I, Yahoo, had denied your legitimate claim. I had taken Peach. Princess Peach, I dare you to try to find me at one of New York's hotels. Yahoo, let's go, Luigi. And then Tony says Brian Thompson's autopsy reveals he suffered blunt force trauma from a turtle shell to the skull. That could be it. Yeah, somebody jumped on his head and killed him too, I heard. Alter Void says, this may be a dumb question. No such thing. Has this been done in the past, or could this be used as a discovery attempt to get inside info from a competitor? So remember, they're asking for limited things here. They can't go in there and demand their and that's not a dumb question. You can't go in there and demand their financials, business strategy, trade secrets, any, forecast, what we plan on doing, going forward, what's our 5-year plan. They're just asking for proof of like them paying off people on the internet. So they really aren't going to get a lot of stuff like that. And then number one, the courts wouldn't allow it, but also number two, if Drake started running around asking for that shit, guess what people are going to do to him? They're going to start asking for his shit. So, Assholes Reacts as bots. When did Chris Boozy enter the motion? I get that comment. The Pie Baker for $10 says, no shit, this is the same reason current Hollywood is like 10 actors from Tom Holland, The Rock, and Jack Nigerian. The same people died over Tickle Me Elmo and Beanie Babies. Yes, that's true. There's very little ingenuity, creativity, or diversity in Hollywood. So, once again, chat, though, it is what it is, sadly. It is what it is. Blackjack Gaming says, do you see grounds for defamation in the actual lyrics of Not Like Us? Certainly I could see that, but I think you're going to argue, I think, it's going to be a First Amendment thing, especially because these two guys are like multi-platinum rappers. Like it's one thing if Drake was just some fucking guy who drove a taxi cab somewhere or like, fucking cleaned out porta potties for a living. Drake has like a fucking mansion and Kendrick Lamar has a fucking mansion. It's like battle of the 100 millionaires. Like, let them fight. It's like they should be allowed to do this. Like, it's really a bitch move to be a rapper and then like you're like go fucking cry to a courthouse because things didn't go your way. Like, are you being attacked? Like, is anything bad happening? Well, no, it's just nobody's listening to my songs. Oh well, you'll fucking live. You'll live, and sounds like you did a lot of sketchy shit, bro. Like, it just happens. It just happens. So do I see the grounds for Blackjack in the actual defamation lyrics of Not Like Us? Yeah, I don't really. I don't. So, anyways, thank you for being here, Blackjack. I appreciate it. Lamar has a mansion. P. Diddy and Drake have fucking mansions, yes. And Bobka says there's reasonable case that Drake is a pedophile with evidence. Yeah, there's some interesting evidence out there. Examoon says Drake's mansion has severe water damage. A storm flooded it earlier this year. Okay. That's interesting. Let's see. Jay Prince is going to sue the stream and give Sean a call. Watch it get removed. Studi is saying, how do they show malice per se? Well, remember, accusing somebody of a crime is generally defamation per se. And accusing somebody of being a pedophile, that's the worst. There's generally a presumption, and, as Nick is learning, there's a presumption that's defamation per se. There's no question it's defamation. And then it just becomes an issue of what are the damages? Like, there's a presumption you're damaged if you're labeled as a pedophile wrongfully. So, that's kind of what you're dealing with there. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see here. Can the judge shoot them to settle it the old school way? No. That would be pretty cool, though. That would be pretty cool. The Canadians are going to be Canadians. Hello, says, what do you think about Alex Spiro getting Jay-Z out of all this? Well, I'm going to save that for Thursday, chat, because that's a whole nother thing there. But yes, Jay-Z got roped into the Diddy sex scandals. And it looks like his attorney, Alex Spiro, did a great job of getting him out of a shitty situation. Access, Sean, a Border Patrol agent ran over a cartel member. Only one? Why didn't he run over all of them? Run over all the cartel members. So, was there a watermark, Pimp Poppy? No. Oh, Jay-Z is fucked. Yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Blackjack Gaming is saying, from what I've seen, people say is the lyrics are open-ended and not definitive. It's as if they're just hearsay or speculation. Well, I mean, we'll go back to it. We'll go back to it real quick, guys. Here, we'll go back to Not Like Us for a minute. We'll listen to it again. This is so fucking hilarious. I can listen to this. It's not going to kill me. So we'll start right here.
Black one. To any bitch that talk to him and they
Yeah, here you go.
really deflow him. Say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to sell Black one. To any bitch.
Well, there you go. I mean, like, yes, he's already accused him. I hear you like him young. You better never go to cell block 1.
That talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that get your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. And Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boys, certified pedophiles. Wop, 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 wop. That fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired?
So there you go. Like, that's... As I see people say, the lyrics are open-ended. I don't know how open-ended they are, but I think they're protected under the First Amendment. Oh. Is Jay-Z getting witness intimidation charges? I don't know, but yes, he definitely got involved in some hijinks with somebody, so it's not looking good in that regard. Let's see here. Kim was saying, does Hurt Stray's case that he's dating a girl he met at his concert when she was 16? Well, that's not good, but it's not, like, fatal. It's not good. I just find it hilarious that Kendrick is like 5'2", the height of a child. Yeah, well. It makes sense for all the weird angles they shot this at when he's involved. Oh, yeah, well, we were going to get to this part. Yes, I wanted to. Yes, literally stopped right before the best part. Yeah, we're going to get to this last little bit here, okay, chat? We're going to do this a little more here. So, here we go.
I'ma do my stuff. Why you trolling like a bitch? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord and it's probably A minor. They not like us. 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 You think the bay gon' let you disrespect Pop, nigga? I think.
So there you go. Yes, playing A minor, doing it on the hopscotch court. Yes. Come on, Sean. You could argue they're open-ended. I could, yes, but I'm just saying from looking it down. Yeah, I don't believe that it was there. Yeah, Kitty's like wop 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 wop. Yes. No. WAP. That's WAP, baby. WAP. Like wop 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 wop. Like, you know, hitting something, or like they don't like Italians. I don't know. What? No, he's like wop 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 wop. Like he's hitting things. Now he's like saying, you know, wet pussy smacking. Jeez. Oh. Best producer around. Best producer around. Mouth guap 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 guap. WAP equals watermelon appreciating predators. Oh no. He's got blocks tied to his shoes to reach the pedals. Okay. Blade says, "Don't be vulgar, Sean." My goodness, yeah, this is. Well, here we'll listen to another second or two of this real quick for you guys.
That open show go be your last stop, nigga. They cold foul. I don't know why you still pretending. What is the owl? Bird niggas and bird bitches. Go. The audience not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Hey Drake, they're not slow. Rabbit hole is still deep. I can go further. I promise.
There you go. So, fat bars. Yeah, he's spitting fire. Spitting fire. You're gonna get a DMCA. No, apparently not. The song is copyright's been released on it. So, Hella says, "Who's Jamie?" Jamie is Joe Rogan's sidekick on the Joe Rogan podcast. Bilderberg, he called out Bilderberg. He might have called out Bilderberg, but remember, Owl is part of Drake's whole thing as well. So, did I play the bit with the clown class? It's got a Young Thug line. I don't know. Let me see. Where's the clown part? Where's the clown? Oh, here's a clown. Apparently, there's a Young Thug line here. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to this.
You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you.
Oh shit! Here we go. Yeah. Oh wow.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still double down, calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear
So this is apparently going to be talking shit about Young Thug. Here we go. Or referencing him.
with me for a second, let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using town folk to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you. This the real nigga challenge. You call future.
What? Hold on one second. Okay, guys, I'll switch screen over. I'll switch the screen over. Just shh. Calmate. So I don't like. I mean, he's got more Young Thug shit he's talking here, but here we go. Here's what he's talking about. Young Thug.
Like us, they not like us. Once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still double down, calling us some slaves. Atlanta was the mecca, building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a second, let me put y'all on game. The settlers was using town folk to make them richer. Fast forward 2024, you got the same agenda. You run to Atlanta when you need a check balance. Let me break it down for you. This the real nigga challenge. You call future when you didn't see the club. Hey, what? Little baby help you get your lingo up. What? 21 get your false street cred. Thug makes you feel like you a slime in your head. Hey, what? Quavo said you can be from North Side. What? 2 Chainz say you good, but he lied. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you not a colleague, you a fucking colonizer.
There we go. Talking about all the shit. Oh, Drake got Thug the Richard Mill watch. Wow. Okay, I didn't know that. So what's the translation there? So basically, it's all the things saying there, like, okay, so like Thug, that means Young Thug, and Young Thug, like, he's claiming that Drake used Young Thug to get him more street cred and more rap cred. Quavo is one of the people that Drake hung out with to get more cred. Drake get more cred. Basically, he ingratiated himself with all these guys to get him into, get Drake street cred. Okay, so that's what that is, if that makes sense. No, Quavo. No, like Quavo. So, going to Atlanta and taking the Atlantic music vibe. Yeah. Yep. Ag says, Sean, does law school have an ebonics course for this? No, I think some of you guys are like, it seems like half you people go, oh no, black people talking, I can't listen. It doesn't make any sense. And it'd be like, hi, sir. I don't understand you folks. I don't understand jungle talk. Like, that's how some of you seem to act. It's not like, fuck, this is not hard to listen to. Like, go listen to some drill rap or some mumble rap. Like, you guys are like, Kendrick Lamar could go like, hello. And you'll be like, I don't understand. I need a translator. Help me. You guys are ridiculous sometimes. It takes some ridiculousness sometimes. You know what? That's the first time I've listened to the fucking song, like the whole, like that part of the song. I listened to little bits here and there. Okay, I listened to that once and I understood what they were saying. I was reading the captions too. But like, you guys are hilarious. Sometimes it's hilarious listening to you guys. You're like, you automatically go like, no, you're black. I can't understand you. My brain doesn't let me. It's like, come on. Some of you guys are ridiculous. Do I understand death metal? Good portions of it, yeah. I'm just saying, like, some of you guys I could drop off in the middle of a black neighborhood and you'd be like, ah, and you just like run around screaming. So they'd be like, hi. And you'd be like, what's up? No, I need a translating machine. Blade says, Sean, we listen to a lawyer for fun. Why am I being racist? I'm not being racist. I'm saying you guys are being ridiculous. Oh. Gesundheit says, I don't know who these people are, so I don't understand the references. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to understand the references, but just they're saying, I don't understand a word he's saying. That's where, like, some of these guys are being ridiculous, just saying, oh, he's black, lol, I don't understand him. It's like, some of you guys are ridiculous. So remember, we're getting back to the beginning here, and this might help if you don't understand who we're getting at. We're dealing with oh wait, that's why it's not working. We're dealing with this right here. Kendrick Lamar, he's the one who wrote that song talking shit about Drake. And so you heard him saying, like, you talk about having slime, like Young Thug. Remember we talked about the Young Thug case? The YSL trial, Young Slime Life. That Drake basically ingratiated and became a poser with like the major rappers back, like when he was trying to get big, like Young Thug, Quavo. These are names of rappers, and I'm just telling you, like, they're out there. Okay, so that's what he's trying to point out, is that Drake's full of shit and Drake's a poser. So Midnight Exile says, I lived in Bed-Stuy in Harlem. No black says hi. They say sup, why boy. Yeah. Well. Oh. So I hope that makes sense in that overall regard. Soon tell you what we're looking at. I'm in Oregon. We don't have black people. Well. Oh. Amateur Iconoclast says, I grew up in rural Mississippi. Unfortunately, I do understand them. Here's the thing. I would have understood this before I became an attorney and started interacting with people. Like, and I grew up in McWhitersville, Ohio. So, like, oh. Steven says, to be fair, chattel. To be fair, half the chattel have dicks in their ears. That's the conclusion you drew, Grand Dragon, Sean. What, that y'all crackers don't know how to listen? Oh, you guys are being ridiculous. Yeah, joke's on you. I'm from the mean streets of Houston. I know. Being the hardest of the hard. Strofuck says Ohio is spiritually black. What the fuck does that mean? Spiritually black. Oh. Yeah, so... But yes, Blackjack, I just want to get back to this. Yes, the lyrics are open-ended and not definitive. Even if they were definitive, I would argue it's still freedom of speech. It's protected on the First Amendment, so... Kimbo says, I'm not invited to the cookout, so stop pandering. Well... Yeah. I didn't realize Sean was such a giant wigger. It's like, is that it now? Is that it? I'm a wigger? Alice says, saw that you're not a 3A absolutist on your Twitter bio. I'm concerned. There's only so many amendments you could put down, and I'm never worried about the Third Amendment. Race Worski and Grand Dragon Sean need to link up. Keep hitters need. Oh, I remember when it was Race Worski. Oh. Is that because Dave Chappelle said he was going to move to Africa and ended up going to Ohio? Dave Chappelle's lived in Ohio for a long time. He's lived in the Yellow Springs area of Ohio for fucking ever. Does Drake know what discovery is? Yeah. Well, remember, yeah, that's the thing. When it turns into remember, there's a reason why Earl, Kendrick Lamar is not listed. Because guess what Kendrick Lamar is gonna fucking do? And also, I think this is poorly planned, but he wants something from UMG. Like he wants them to help him or something. I don't know. I don't think he wants money, but he wants help from them. But yes, there's a reason why Kendrick Lamar is not listed here, because guess what Kendrick Lamar can do? I'm deposing you, motherfucker. I'm deposing you. It is you who will be deposed, bish. So there's a there's a bit of time there. I definitely wore Rockaware in 2004. Yeah, no, I didn't. Oh. Alex says, I'm worried about the 19th Amendment. I think we all are. So Afro Man also lives in Ohio. Yes, he does. Sean's only listening because I can steal the music. Yes. Enjoy your depositions, Drake. Yes. Oh, well, I think we're all done, chat. We're all caught up. We are all caught up. But yes, Kitty is right. Enjoy your depositions, child. And that's the thing. Is Drake going to bite off more than he could chew? Is he going to end up with getting stuck in a lawsuit he can't bail out of? Yeah, I think this can go really bad for Drake if he doesn't play his cards right, because this could be a big problem for him. And also, it's not like Universal and all them are just going to okay, well, fine, Drake, your contracts are done, you're fired. But this could lead to other adverse consequences. It could lead to a bunch of adverse consequences. We just don't know what it'll be yet. Ohio lives in Ohio. Well, yeah, that would make sense that Ohio's in Ohio. It'd be really awkward if it wasn't. So, but yeah, chat, we are all set for tonight. We'll see how this goes. And yeah, remember, there's a lot of people talking about Drake, and it's not just Kendrick Lamar. And remember, we've covered Jay-Z and some of the other stuff, and there have been a lot of rumblings that, after P. Diddy and all of this, that, Drake is involved in a bunch of it. So the consequences will never be the same, very likely. So the Black Pedo Empire is about to fall. Well, remember that empire's popped up by all the music execs. So all those Talmudic gentlemen in Hollywood are actually behind that, pulling the strings. Okay, so chat, with that being said, we're all done for tonight. It's only 9:30. We will probably do a little bit of a model stream. Got a little while. Can hang out for a bit, and we'll do that. That said, though, guys, in the Walter Malone for $5 saying, Drake said in the song that he fed Kendrick fake info. How can he sue him for defamation? Well, he's going to have to say what info he gave that was fake. Because sure, some of it could be fake that he said. Remember, it's not defamation. Like, some of it might be true, though. Like, there might be true statements that Kendrick Lamar, I'm sorry, not true, but false statements. That, well, what statement did Drake give? Because Drake's going to say, I gave you bad info. Well, what info did you give? He's going to have to say that if that gets to trial tonight. So that's going to be the issue there. Somebody said, what are we painting tonight? Well, we are going to keep working on painting the SBD Dauntless that we were working on before. And here it is with all the paint. I took the tape off. Here's currently where we're at with the paint job. So we're going for this. I got to do the wing roots. The wing roots need to get painted next. But that's where we are, and we have a... Where is the one I wanted to show that we are trying to do? So we're trying to go for this look here, chat. If you guys weren't watching, we're trying to go for this. It's not the right, like the light's a little different, guys, when what I'm looking at, but that's what we're shooting for, is that it's not going to be perfect, but I like it and what it's going on there. So, I hope you realize that the dive break outers are the same camo scheme. Oh, I know they are. I know they are. I just didn't get to them yet. But anyways, we got to paint the wings again. The wings are a little not what I was hoping for. So we're going to have to go and try them again. So that is it for tonight. Thank you all for being here. We got 280 on Twitter, 300 on here on YouTube, and 3 or 4 over on Twitch. Thank you guys all for being here. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Nope, I did not. Let's see. And guys, we are going to be heading over to this channel here. We're going to head over to the model channel. Actually, you know what? Tonight we might hang out here tonight. We might just hang out here tonight. Screw it. We'll hang out here tonight, guys. Give me a couple minutes. We'll get going here. And we'll hang out. We'll do both. But we're going to hang out here. So, that said, though, we're trying to get this one going, chat, because I want this one. I'd like this channel to work there because it'll make the algorithm a little more stable. But I'd like to get it, with the right amount of subs and also the watch hours, so we can hang out over there. You guys can do your thing over there and get it up. So if it gets, you get enough subs, you get noticed. But anyways, that's what we're going to do. We're going to hang out there tonight. We're going to get started on this, but we'll also be here tonight. I'm just saying, fuck it. We'll hang out here in both places tonight. So we'll hang out here then. But chat, if you want to be green over there, we're going to have to work on that. You need your help. So, am I gonna review the DMs? What DMs? I don't get it, Sky Queen. Am I gonna review the DMs and rackets? Not sure. So, yeah, well, anyways, we'll hang out for a little while and do this chat. So, I will see you guys over there. Oh, yeah, no, we already did that. We listened to that last night. On Locals, and Alyssa clipped a bunch of that up. So, we're already done. It's not even really Dick reacting. It's Nick that was the important part of that. So, in the meantime, chat, I will talk to you later. And just remember, just because you filed a bunch of pussy-ass lawsuits doesn't mean you're not a gangster rapper. Although for Drake, you're not really a rapper. Really. So, good night, chat. Don't be like Drake. File your lawsuits like an adult. And I'll see you guys later.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty. But please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fact